What's going on, guys? So, I need a haircut soon. I think I might get one while I'm in Edmonton on my next job. We gotta do some maintenance on the truck. So, I didn't record the maintenance last time. And, people kind of mentioned that I probably should. Since I'm kind of describing an entire Canadian hotshot situation. And there's only, 2 channels I found so far that do Canadian hotshot. But not, in Western Canada. I found them down in Atlantic Canada. And so the one's in Newfoundland, the other guy's in Fredericton area. But we got the trucks fired up. We're going to back it into the garage. Now, for those who wondering, do you have a heated garage? Yes, we do have a heated garage. The issue is the house is under renovations. So it's a good thing. We don't turn the heat on here because, the truck doesn't fit. So I'm pretty much going to back in. We're going to work in the cold. We're going to get ourselves out here, kind of get adapted to the weather. We got to do a rear diff service. So that's the plan today, is to change the rear diff. I was going to do the serpentine belt, but seeing everything on the internet, seems like it's going to be a giant pain in the ass. So I'm just going to take it to a mechanic. I'll just take the belt and I'll go straight to the mechanic and go, hey, you guys do it. I don't want to do it. There's things where you have to look at it. Fluid services, easy. Changing a serpentine belt every 200,000 K? What's your time worth versus theirs? $145 and they probably have the tools, they have the know-how, and they get it done. Whereas the belt is 50 something bucks. So what is that noise? Oh, it's the fan. So yeah, I'm just gonna head out there. By the way, someone pointed out in a DM to me that the front camera has 4K. I didn't know this on my phone. So it's now running in 4K, so you guys can see all the footage and all the high qualityness. Although I don't have much storage left on this phone. Still waiting for my other phone to come in. But it is what it is. Anyhow, let's go get this rear diff service done. We picked up some Royal Purple. I got 5 liters of it. Or, I don't know, 4.5 quarts, 5 quarts, whatever you want to say. And we'll bang it out. But we got to put on some more layers. This hoodie is just not enough to be outside at this temperature. We need to put on more layers. So we'll do that. Back the truck in. I'll get you guys set up. We'll get this job done. All right. So this is my diff. She is a big fucker. She is the, this is a high output. So it has the diff that is bigger, I guess. I don't bloody know. We got a hammer. Nice little pink duct tape on it, make it unique. Our crappy screwdriver. And a big DeWalt kit. Now, I know this seems a little overkill. But that's because it is. I just don't want to deal with this. I hate doing diffs. And it has enough torque to get the bolts off. I don't know if I'll be able to get to this top bolt here. At least whoever owned this before has serviced it, because there's a bunch of bolts in here. There's RTV all over this. Don't know why you wouldn't just reuse the gasket that came on it. But it looks like we're using RTV as well. Alright. That got out majority of what we need. We're going to need to grab our 3/8 for the top there. I'll grab that right now. Ugh. Concrete floor is cold and there's a big hitch right above the bumper hole. So, it's a good way to knock yourself out. I'm prepared for this to smell absolutely ratchet. Because, let's face it, the RTV is disgusting. And so is diff oil. So, Jesus, mother of God. Hello? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's good dirt, man. It's almost like they should invent something for that. I think it's called safety glasses. Okay, get down there. Oh, come on. There we go. That one is hard to reach too. Jeez, that spare tire. You're not helping here much, bud. Well, it'd be helpful if I ever have a flat. I haven't had a flat in fucking 2-3 years now. But I don't drive on stupid shit. Doo-da. Hope I get away with it. Okay, let's crack this bad boy open. It's covered in RTV, so just gonna take a couple of whacks. Is there a good place to pull this plate from? Right here looks like it's a good spot. Right there. And tap. Might need to get. Oh, there it goes. Sweet. Okay. Ooh, she's black. She was definitely due. Which is fine. Okay. The reason I left the top bolts in there is so we don't end up wearing majority of this diff fluid. It stinks. Be thankful, like, a lot of people don't realize smell-o-vision would suck. Whoever's going to come up with that should be put down and put out to pasture. Because my God, would that ever suck. Alright, let's crack this bad boy open. Oh, she's dark. Oh yeah, she's definitely well overdue. Not well overdue, okay? I need to stop saying that. Because in reality, this isn't overdue. This is pretty much right where you want to service it. I'm getting too old for this shit. I don't have a light. I don't see one anywhere, so looks like we're gonna have to use the phone. So we'll turn on the camera. Obviously, you guys can see inside, and then we'll use the light on the flash in order to do it as well. It looks like we're almost done draining here, so I know some people say, hey, make sure you take out the drain plug before you drain fluids, because it will be a bitch to obviously refill back up. I have that drain plug out almost every day. The only time I haven't had it out yesterday. That's the only time. And the reason why is I always check my stuff every morning during the pre-trip. I know it's overkill completely, but in the pre-trip I check all my fluid levels. And you don't have to, but I do. Just because I don't want to run my gears empty or anything like that. And if there is a leak, that will tell you everything you need to know. And also the condition of your fluid. So, yeah, that plug's been out already a bunch, so don't sweat about it. All right, here comes the worst part of this whole job. Ooh, yeah, sounded gorgeous. I don't want that on me. I do not want gear roll on me at all, whatsoever. Now, this truck does have 210,000 kilometers on it. Just giving you guys a heads up now. So if you see anything kind of funky or a lot of metal, normal on the magnet, there's not actually, there's barely any metal on that magnet. But if you, this is the first time since I've owned the truck that I've seen in here. So I've serviced it once already, but I didn't take the cover off. What I did is I just, the shop that did it, they stuck a hose down the fill plug, suck all the old fluid out, and then put new fluid in. But let's get this camera turned around and let's have a look at this diff. There we go. All right. How are we looking down there? Oh, we're looking minty on the gear. There's definitely wear, as I expected, but nothing too alarming. I'm happy they run a Detroit limited slip in this thing. I didn't know what ran if it was a clutch based. That's why they don't need the additives, because it's a gear based system. Other than that, this thing looks fucking mint. Look, it doesn't even look like it. Oh, there is no, like, ever so slightly, maybe, well, let's just say it's meant how it's supposed to feel. It's the way it feels, it's how it's supposed to be. No play in it at all, except for like maybe like 7th thou or 10th thou, but you're not gonna feel that with your fucking hand. It's right where it should be. Everything looks healthy inside. Nothing jumping out at me. Nothing sparkling back on the flash, which is what you want. The fluid is like, it's aerated, so don't consider that metal, because that's not metal, that's called air. It looks good. So we just got to clean off the gasket surface. This it right here. Clean off the pan and get it ready to go. See you soon. Look at that. Nice and clean. Now we're going to get some RTV on it. How to trigger everyone on the internet in like 5 seconds or less. 1, do RTV. This is how I do it. So I just put little dots on each corner, and then I take my finger and I just rub out the whole pan like this. That's what I do the whole way, all the way across. And I usually have enough RTV on here that I can do this. Okay, this is how I've been doing it for years. It's how I've been doing it forever. It works for me, and some people even do it themselves. I've seen other mechanics do it, but 99% of internet mechanics don't do that. So you know, this is how I do it. It works. You can make a little line if you want, but it just gets squished out when you get on the pan. You don't need that much gasket to do that. So I just do this. It gets 100% coverage, and that's it. That's all I do. So we'll see when we get down to the bottom. All right. We got our bottles coming up here. We need to get these prepped and ready to go. I'm just letting the pan sit a little longer. In your mind, it's been 2 seconds. In my mind, it's been like 20 minutes. So we'll get this pan on here. This stuff says you have to let it sit for some time. That's not my hair. Don't know where that came from. Once you let it sit for some time, I did that. Now I know they say they want you to let it sit on here. I don't do that for one reason, because it's meant to replace a rubber gasket, not become one with the pan. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't care. I've been doing it like that for ages, and to this very day, after almost 2 million kilometers driven with trucks, I have not had a problem. So must be doing something. I'll put that over there because it's in your guys' way. So we're just going to clean off this gasket surface here. We let that drain pretty much the whole time. Looks like we have some residue of like an old gasket or something up here. It's not the gasket that I took off, because that came with the fucking thing. So it looks like they just didn't do a good cleanup job. That's old. That's old gasket. There we go. Yeah, you can tell because there's a thin gasket over the original gasket. Now, for those who are seeing the dirt right here between the two pieces, that's not dirt. Well, it is dirt, but it's permanently a part of the housing. That's where it was, the old gasket or the manufacturer gasket would have sat and made a mess. So it's fine. We're going to shove this in here, clean up a little bit, throw it over there. All right, this one's pretty straightforward. Groove goes with the diff. So slam that on there, grab a couple of bolts and get them set in. Come on. There we go. Okay, and then we'll get one on this side. Okay, now this is what I do. Manufacturers may suggest different. I don't know. I just get these somewhat snug into place with my hand first, and then I just snug two up. So that's what I do. And I go like that until I pretty much get a little bit of tightness there. And then slowly just put them all back in by hand. So once you get pretty much two in place, most of the bolts should just go in fairly easily. Remember, there's two big ones up here at the top. These long ones here, they go in the top right. Normally there's supposed to be a bracket here to hold this line right here, this plastic. Oh, I guess you can't see it in camera. There's a electrical connection up there that's meant to be held on with a bracket. The bracket's missing. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to sweat about it, to be honest. So I'm just going to put it all back together. I don't think that bracket's even necessary, in my opinion. Although, I don't know why someone didn't just put it back on. I guess just pure laziness. But I can tell you right now, I'm not about to go buy a whole new bracket. Why? Oh, it's just wet. I thought that fucking leaf spring was oily, but then my brain's like, there's no oil over there. Why would it be oily? I don't mean like by the axle tube. I mean literally by the spring. This is a lot of bolts for a diff. Holy crap. I'm going to hit these with the impact on the lightest setting. The hardest setting, I only used the hardest setting on this impact once. And that was at a dealership for a trailer because they were struggling to get the bolts off the, you know, you have an adjustable tongue on a trailer. Well, they couldn't get the nut off, the 5/16 nut. The guy had a cheap version of one of these, a knockoff one pretty much. And he was like, he's like, I could do it. And he tried. And I was like, do you want a real one? Sure. I put it on 3. Fucking thing came flying off. Like nothing. Now I know some of you are going to say, go cross pattern, go cross pattern, go cross pattern. Don't worry about it. I'll do that when I torque them. God, this tool's heavy. As you can tell, I have it on low settings. This is full trigger, by the way. If you put it on the lowest, that's full trigger. So you can't over torque. And I think it stops at like 10 foot-pounds or something like that. Like it gets 2 clicks out of it and that's it. All right, the other bolts I'm gonna have to tackle with the wrench or the ratchet. There we go. So now, oh, I gotta tighten these ones up more by hand. Ugh. I love that fucking bucket of oil, just stinks. Okay, I'm getting dripped on over here by my mud flap. Right on my leg and it's cold. All right, so click, click. You heard it. Click, click. Now I'm doing the star pattern for you guys, so you're happy. So if you go by RAM, this is something I think it's absolutely ridiculous and something you probably won't ever hear about. These bolts are not rated for what they are torqued to. RAM wants these at 29 foot-pounds. These bolts are 10.1, I think, rating. So these are only actually meant to have 24. That's what they're getting. You can go an extra 5 pounds, I guess, if you want, but these bolts are not designed to go that high, but RAM says they're supposed to. And in my experience, it doesn't really matter. You just gotta go make sure they're snug and you're fine. Like a little bit of a turn and you're golden. You're not gonna have any issues. As long as you don't go crazy. The thing I've learned about torquing these down, if you want, is just use your hand. So I'm not giving myself leverage here. I'm turning it with my hand here. I'm just using this, so when I turn it, I can just keep a control of the tool. That's pretty much it. But yeah, that's all I'm doing is when I'm torquing it down, I'm just turning it like this. And when I can't get any more out of it, I'm about 25 foot-pounds. Because my wrist can turn about 25 foot-pounds. So she's fine. Okay, and then back down to this one. Perfect. And then go up to this one. This one's obviously, we have to be a little more careful because I don't have the torque spec on that. And then this one. There we go. So that we'll double check everything. Perfect. 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 And if you really wanted to, I actually have a 3/8 torque wrench designed for this crap. When I built engines for my Jeeps and stuff, I have torque wrenches just for that. Okay, we're minty. All right, let's take this plug off now. By the way, I know it seems like that hasn't been off for a while. I can tell you now it's been off. It's just when you do 1,000 clicks of vibrating, it will thing off. Now, this is something I do, and it might be something someone else might do. I don't know. This truck didn't have it when I first did it. I have a rubber gasket for the actual bit here. You don't have to do that. Most diffs don't have that. I have one on there. I have one on the front one as well. All the plugs that I have to take out every day, I put a rubber stopper in there just to help. Now, I don't know if the plant had that from the factory or if they didn't, or if they did, I don't know. I don't know, my old Jeeps had that, and I thought it was a good idea, so I just continued doing it. All right, now, this is on level ground, even though it looks like it isn't. My truck's just not tall. I'm not even jacked off the ground, it's just sitting on the tires. So, that's good. I hate these bottles. I like Amsoil's containers better, but I don't know. When I ordered my Banks Ram Air diff cover for the back of this, maybe I'll go with Amsoil. But I just, you know, if something's been good to you for years, why change a good thing, right? And that's something I've always believed in. If it's been working this whole time, why change it? So it's been working this whole time, so I just keep going with the Royal Purple. Plus, it's readily available everywhere. It's so hard to find Amsoil gear oil up here in Canada. Like, I know some people are like from Toronto are gonna be like, "Oh, I can find it anywhere." Not where I live. Where I live, it is not anywhere. Even at PB Mart, usually the place you want to go. Oh, hello. We're leaking out of the container. Shocker. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just wish you could buy it. Yeah, there it goes. Perfect. Now, some people do this, some people don't. It's totally up to you. I let that drain. Pretty much I wait till it stops dripping, and then I put my plug back in. That's all it is. And if you really are anal about it, if you do care a lot, not all diffs take to the fill mark like this. Some diffs actually have a certain amount of fluid they need and nothing more than that. And for some reason, the manufacturer put the drain plug or fill plug higher than that level. So there we go. No longer dripping. We'll grab ourselves a piece of paper towel. There we go. Or I guess several pieces of paper towel. And we'll just clean this off. As you can see now, we're no longer dripping at all. That's what we want. Make sure your magnet is clean of metal. Mine is clean because I did it when I did the diff cover. And boom. Put it back in. And then just make it snug. There we go. There you go. You did a diff service to your Ram truck, your Ram 3500 heavy duty truck with the high output diesel. If you have I think the difference of the diffs is if you have a high output, you have a 4.5 quart spacing, because obviously this is not empty. If you have the regular diesel 6.7, you have a 4 quart differential. I think that's the only difference. I think most heavy duty trucks come with a limited slip. You do not need the additive for it because it's a mechanical limited slip now. I didn't know that before, but now I do. The hat's riding up my head, make me look like Scrooge. So yeah, diff service complete. Now in 25,000 kilometers, we'll do this again because this is cheaper than fixing this, because this costs $2,500 to fix. And that is just for the gears, the ring and pinion and labor. It doesn't include the limited slip you're probably going to break in the process. I keep looking at myself in the camera. I'm sorry. New to this. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, if you ever want to say anything, or any suggestions to what I can do. This truck does not have airbags if you're curious about it. I don't know if you can even see that. We're always open to suggestions here. Like I said, I'm learning just like you're learning. And I'm just taking along the route. And I need to clean underneath this truck. Thank God we haven't driven anywhere with salt yet. So they don't really use salt too much in BC anymore, at least from what I understand. So this truck won't get too rusty. She does a little bit of rust, but just because of wear and tear. It's nothing I'm going to get it fixed. I'm just waiting for the shop to have time and the materials, because it's hard to get materials right now. There's a few things this truck needs to get fixed, and the parts are ordered and everything's kind of on its way. It's just like, it's like going uphill, and with molasses, it's like molasses going uphill in the middle of January, right? It's just not going to happen. Probably in the spring is probably what's going to happen. Plus, I need downtime. So I need to take this truck in and have a couple weeks off and let them get at it. Yeah. We'll get on. See you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video.